corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abhor the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy
justices on the high court are thinking about today. So the issue is before the court that the president's firing of former federal trade commissioner Rebecca Slaughter needed to come into question. So does Slaughter argues that Congress designed the Federal Trade Commission to be bipartisan in investigating corporate mergers and
to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs.
Daniel.
Hour after hour, thy vigilance into.
Daniel, are you there? Hello? Daniel, come back, Daniel. Daniel! Daniel!
And keen turned inward miss, no atom of analysis. Sixth on one thought, securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind.
We come from Uranus. It is a planet in our solar system, the seventh planet from the sun.
So I think that I didn't say that the president has that power. I actually said that he does not have that power.
he doesn't have that power.
Steve, I think that that's the point where we go into the nuances of he doesn't have.
No, sir. I was that you would make some choices about how you wanted it to go, and I was fine with this. I thought it was terrific. As a Catholic, you probably aware that Jerusalem is originally called the
Master, I read thy radiance that rolls afar. Oh, brother of the silver star.
Why? Because he's our spiritual leader. He's the head of the church. He's the vicar of Christ. So if he can end up down with your and it would depend upon what he would say exactly. But yeah, I would like that. I would like that. He condemns you because you've openly admitted to being a racist on this show. Oh, this racist. I would be disappointed if he said that, because I think that word racist, it means something different to everybody. And so I think that's just silly. I think that's just semantic.
Have you ever been in love in your life?
It's gay.
Like romantically, no.
Never.
No.
Do you think that's part of the problem?
What's the problem?
You are in love.
Uh-oh. And what's the way I am? What are you trying to say?
I've given people 2 hours of the way you are. You're unashamed about a lot of it.
There are 7
I
keys
have a
to
problem. I think I'm
the gate.
cheerful, boisterous. Unlike you, I'm willing to be a little provocative. But I'm willing to be very provocative, and I'm a free thinker. And I don't like to be tone policed. I don't like to be told about.
Bound by the
People are going to tone police and play moral cop about you taking this
corpse rigid as the last aboard. The fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low.
What the national origin is.
Easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that spring enhance, hour after hour, thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward, miss. No atom of analysis, sixth on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditation steep and strong. Slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rolls afar. O brother of the silver star.
Hello?
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes, the tease, the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a will to live, be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that spring enhance, hour after hour, thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward, miss. No atom of analysis, six on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong. Slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort, the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath through them be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, sway softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense, observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands, hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen turned inward, miss no atom of analysis. External thoughts securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word.
Still that ecstasy prolonged, the meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act.
All these things in one or power time, at the midnight blossom flowered, the oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of his high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here, thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort, the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, sway softly as a well to life be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense of surface entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands, hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen turned inward, miss no atom of analysis.
6 silent thoughts securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy prolonged, thy meditation steep and strong.
Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one are power time, that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy prolonged, thy meditation deep and strong. Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. That's all these things in
One of power time at the midnight blossom flower.
oneness is yet even this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort, the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being
and strong, slaying even God should distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one, oh power. Time at the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling roots, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierced to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of a will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow. So that thy being be in tune with the great sea specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and come sway softly as a well to live, be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observance entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance. Sins and kings turn inwardness, no atom more than analysis. Sticks on one thought, securely pinned, still every whisper on the wind. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditations deep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one, oh power. Time at the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will.
Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow.
So that thy being be in tune with the great sea's specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound.
To the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observance entity. Watch every thought that springs
securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one o'erpower, time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen turned inwardness. No atom of analysis, 6 on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one o'erpower, time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let
sanctity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inwardness, no atom of analysis. Fixed on one thought, securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind.
So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditation steep and strong. Slaying even God, should he
Distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is, even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
if thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root.
Discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness.
Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere.
Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will.
Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance. Hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward miss, no atom of analysis. Fixed on one thought, securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditations deep and strong. Slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one overpowered. Time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is his, even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root. Discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere.
Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow,
so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward, makes no atom of analysis. Someone thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind, so like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last all these things in one or time, that the midnight blossom flower, the oneness is yet, even in this my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression should, thy glance to
My haircut's still crispy as fuck. I don't even want to lay down. I gotta lay.
discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Here's to the heart I leave thee here. Thou art the master of view. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abhor the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Then let the light be pure and calm, swayed softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs and hands, hour after hour thy vigilance, intense and keen, turned inward, miss no atom of analysis. Six on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind, so like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one power time, that the midnight blossom flower, the oneness is yet, even in this my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression shoot, thy glance to rapture's darkling, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort, the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's specific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance intense and keen turned inwardness. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prone, thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one o'erpowered time, that the midnight blossom flower, the oneness is yet, even in this my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Here's to the heart I leave thee here, thou art the master I revere, thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in 1 and 1 in 8. First let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid thus thou mayst abort, the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's specific swoon. Pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance intense and keen turned inwardness. And all the status fixed on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. Ecstasy prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one o'erpowered time, that the midnight blossom flowered, the oneness is yet, even in this my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Here's to the heart I leave thee here, thou art the master I revere, thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
to succeed, and the way to suck eggs. This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunge from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of this interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work. For the great work is accomplished in silence, and behold, is not that word equal to death? That is cancer, whose sigil is up. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own end, nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children, one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. This is a holy hexagram. Touch from the height, oh God, and interlock with man. Touch from the height, oh man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. Triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer. This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work. For the great work is accomplished in silence, and behold, is not that word equal to chaff? That is cancer, whose sigil is up. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own and nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfected itself. Little children, love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunge from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer. This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work. For the great work is accomplished in silence, and behold, is not that word equal to death? That is cancer, whose sigil is death. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own end, nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfected itself. Little children, love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunge from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer. This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work. For the great work is accomplished in silence, and behold, is not that word equal to chaff? That is cancer, whose sigil is cats. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own end, nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children, love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunge from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer. This interchange, the double gift of tongues, itself. Little children love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunge from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer. This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power. Abrahadabra is the sign of the great work, for the great work is accomplished in silence. And behold, is not that word equal to death? That is cancer, whose sigil is cancer. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own end, nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs.
This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man.
Plunge from the height, oh man, and interlock with beast.
The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer.
This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work, for the great work is accomplished in silence. And behold, is not that word equal to death? That is cancer. Sigil is your gen. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own and nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children, love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. The way to succeed.
This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man.
Plunge from the height, oh man, and interlock with beast.
The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer.
This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work, for the great work is accomplished in silence. And behold, is not that word equal to death? That is cancer, whose sigil is regen. This work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own and nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children, love one another. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs. The way to succeed.
This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man.
Plunge from the height, oh man, and interlock with beast.
The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer.
This interchange, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra, is the sign of the great work, for the great work is accomplished in silence.
The way to succeed and the way to suck eggs.
This is the holy hexagram. Plunge from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunge from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle change, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra. It's a sign of a great, great work, for the great work is accomplished in silence, and behold, is not the word equal to chaff that is cancer? Procedures of this work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own end, nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children, love one another, 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 another. The way to escape, the way to succeed, the way to succeed, the way to succeed. So eats up itself. This is the holy hexagram, plunged from the height, O God, and interlock with man. Plunged from the height, O man, and interlock with beast. The red triangle is the descending tongue of grace. The blue triangle is the ascending tongue of prayer. They seem to change, the double gift of tongues, the word of double power, abrahadabra. The sign of the great work, for the great work is accomplished in silence, and behold, it's not the word equal to chaff that is cancer. Procedurally start this work also eats up itself, accomplishes its own end, nourishes the worker, leaves no seed, is perfect in itself. Little children, love one another, 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 another. The way to succeed, the way to succeed. hath a bell for sound, fire for sight, a knife for touch, two cakes, one for taste, the other for smell. We stand there before the altar of the universe at sunset, when earth life fades, he summons the universe and crowns it with wedding light. To replace the sun of natural light, he prays unto and give homage to our great. To him even sacrifices. The first king illustrates the prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second mixed with his life's blood and eternal. Illustrates the use of the lower life to feed the higher life. He then takes the oath and becomes free. The absolute burning of the flame of his prayer and born again. The phoenix of gates hath a bell for sound, fire for sight, a knife for touch, two cakes, one for taste, the other for smell. He standeth before the altar of the universe at sunset, when earth life fades, he summons the universe and crowns it with radiant light. To replace the sun of natural light, he prays unto and give homage to Rahut. To him even sacrifices. The first king illustrates the prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second mixed with his life's blood and eternal. Illustrates the use of the lower life to feed the higher life. He then takes the oath and becomes free. Unconditioned, the absolute burning of the flame of his prayer and the phoenix.
The phoenix hath a bell for sound, fire for sight, the knife for touch, two cakes, one for taste, the other for smell. He standeth before the altar of the universe at sunset, when earth life fades. He summons the universe and crowns it with natural light. He prays unto and give homage to Rahut. To him he then sacrifices. The first cake burned illustrates the prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second mixed with his life's blood and eaten illustrates the use of the lower life to feed the higher life. He then takes oath and becomes free. Unconditioned, the absolute, burning up the flame of his prayer and born again, the phoenix. for touch, two cakes, one for taste, the other for smell. He standeth before the altar of the universe at sunset when earth life fades. He summons the universe and crowns it with natural delight. Give praise unto and give homage to Rahaku. To him he then sacrifices. The first cake burnt illustrates the prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second, mixed with his life's blood and eaten, illustrates the use of the lower life to be the higher life. He then takes the oath and becomes free on condition. The absolute, burning up the flame of his prayer and born again, the phoenix. The phoenix hath a bell for sound, five for sight, a knife for touch, two cakes, one for taste, the other for smell. He standeth before the altar of the universe at sunset when earth life fades. He summons the universe and crowns it with magic light to replace the sun of natural light. He prays unto and give homage to Rahaku. To him he then sacrifices. The first cake burnt illustrates a prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second, mixed with his life's blood and eaten, illustrates the use of the lower life to feed the higher life. He then takes the oath and becomes free, unconditioned, the absolute, burning up the flame of his prayer and born again, the phoenix. The phoenix hath a bell for sound, fire for sight, a knife for touch, two cakes, one for taste, the other for smell. He standeth before the altar of the universe at sunset when earth life fades. He summons the universe and crowns it with magic light to replace the sun of natural light. He prays unto and give homage to Rahaku. To him he then sacrifices. The first cake burnt illustrates the prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second, mixed with his life's blood and eaten, illustrates the use of the lower life to feed the higher life. He then takes the phoenix. So we know that it's bullshit. The problem is that we don't have the media that's willing to call them out on it. Right? That's the problem. Right? Like I got one debate in Venezuela. That's not what we're here to do. But it's highlighting the issue, which is the new media is not calling out the president or the administration for their lie that it is narco-terrorism that we are going after in Venezuela, right? Pretty much anybody who's being honest that I've heard is willing to admit that's the case, including you and some of the other people up here, right? I actually, you know what I mean? Like it's the disingenuous. The phoenix and the bell for sound, fire for sight, knife for touch, two kicks, one for taste, the other for smell. I standeth before the altar of the universe at sunset when earth light fades. He summons the universe and crowns it with magic light to replace the sun of natural light. He prays unto and give homage to my heart command to him he did sacrifices. The first cake burned illustrates the prophet drawn from the scheme of incarnation. The second mixed with his lifeblood and Eden illustrates the use of the lower life to feed the higher life. He then takes the oath and becomes free, unconditioned, the absolute, burning up the flame of his prayer and born again. The phoenix. Overtly or subvertly,
For example, Canada, which has the world's second or third largest oil supplies when you combine oil sands. When you look at Canadian reserves.
So again, it's interesting. It's derailing. I'm sorry.
We're going to do our own current.
This is derailing from the topic, and I want to bring it back into the media crash out. So again, we can have this discussion another day. Much appreciated. Let's go to Coyote or Joe. Did you have something about the media?
About the oil.
Okay, I don't want to continue. I don't want to keep this. Not what we're talking about tonight. Sorry. Go ahead, Colonel.
Yeah, Dilly, sorry for the delay there. Hey, it kind of came to me because I think you just said that Elon just reposted that Nick is a Fed. Like, was that a repost? Did that just happen? Okay.
He commented a couple hours ago. He said
There
it
you
again.
go. Okay, so now what we're seeing, I think, is starting to make sense, right? I have listened to Nick, not like I don't watch his podcast or anything, but you can't miss him because I watch a lot of stuff, right? So I come across this stuff all the time, and he is very open to the idea of JD Vance, and JD Vance's big sponsor is who? We talked about this. His name is Peter what? Thiel, right? So I think what we're actually looking at here is a war between Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. And so if you look at it and you kind of step back and you go, why the hell is Nick acting the way that he is? Because J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel, and I like J.D. you know, and Peter Thiel is creepy, like he's trying to bring in the satanic AI, kind of thing. But I think that's what Nick is doing. I think he's like hedging his bets here for the future. Like I think that's what that young kid, with the ridiculous following and everything he's doing, is actually doing there. So I'm thinking that's where we are. I think we're like, it's like, and both of them.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense because Elon can't be president.
No. I'm saying Trump is like both Elon. I mean, Elon went on, and you certainly aren't telling me that Elon.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. Nick's selling out to the establishment because he's hedging his bet for the future.
Well, and he's doing it for. And there's factions here, right? So you have Elon's faction, which is like that's the one I've kind of bought into, and it's ridiculous to us, this narrative, and we're looking at the Thiel J.D. Vance thing that's happening, which seems unnatural now and creepy. So anyway,
and kind of together.
And it kind of came together. So anyway, that's what I want to say. Thanks for letting me know. See you.
Yeah, thank you, Colonel. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Elon's tweet about he's a Fed. Then there's a post by Santron that says that Nick Fuentes knew Ali Alexander was grooming young boys well before victims went public. And so I've been using social audio chat apps for years. I've been using Clown House, Clubhouse, and Ali Alexander used to hold open court there with Andrew Meyer and other individuals. I don't know about the Peter Thiel feud between him and Elon. I'm not a Peter Thiel fan. I'm a former IRS employee at the Treasury Department, and I used to walk around and tour buildings with the commissioner of the IRS, and he's a former tax attorney, and he was pushing Palantir on all the attorneys at the IRS, as well as saying that he wants to see mom and pops be destroyed in courts. I'm not a whistleblower. I'm just telling you that people's psychology sucks. But also this daily feud between Candace and Nick and Milo and all these talking head puppets who to me sound like they're hyperverbal, compulsive thinkers and speakers and delusional and just creating clickbait nonstop. And then Tim Pool says his show, he's pulling every day in every way. These social media influencers are doing the same clickbait news cycle bullshit on us, and they're part of the schmuck psyop. These stupid politicians are more worried about tariffs than our property taxes, income taxes. So I'm very upset that we live in clown world. And when I think about all the problems internationally, but then I think about the people that we live with here in America and just how brainwashed they are and how weak and pathetic and clownish and stupid and how they live in la la land, delusional land. We're 39 trillion in debt, 100 trillion in unfunded debt. So we have major financial problems, and the fact that the State Department every month is sending $7 billion overseas to the King of Jordan, to the President of Egypt. It's not just our citizens, it's the fucking government still. This is why we voted Trump, to hopefully have change. And every president keeps pulling the fucking rug on us. And so it's just very upsetting to see that we can't have fiscal conservatism or a balanced budget or a reduction in spending or paying down the debt or have some type of change to this skim operation. It's resembling very much like a mafia operation. And maybe that's what governments are, and maybe that's what we are. But it's just upsetting to recognize it and realize that if we invade Venezuela and spend hundreds of billions of dollars in some kind of new regime change operation, I don't know. I mean, is this just a mafia-run organ? Is it the federal mafia? Because that's what Peter Schiff and Erwin Schiff, his father, put out the Federal Mafia book. I'm just saying, I'm trying to run for Congress, and I'm running against the AIPAC candidate that has $10 million in the bank, and he's pushing FIFA on his constituents. His constituents don't give a fuck about soccer. His constituents care about property taxes, income taxes, and Pritzker here in Illinois, and abortions and transgender reassignment surgery. So I don't know what our leaders are leading. and they're not really educating us or leading us in any type of patriotic, nationalistic, intelligent way. We are the ultimate suckers, it appears. Thank you for letting me rant. I am complete.
All right. Thank you for that. Good rant. Good rant. And good luck with your candidacy over there in Illinois. Sounds like you're pretty based. I don't know what your policy. I mean, I can get an idea of what your policy positions are, but yeah. Good luck. And,
I would guess he likes Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, I liked her resignation letter, and I don't know if anybody read it, but I read it. It's excellent, and everybody should read her resignation letter. And
I read it. It's based as fuck.
Yeah, it was extremely based, and it's very patriotic and American.
She took power, and it's so hard to get it, and then she quit. That's the problem.
I mean, well, when it's threatening your kids, and the president is. No, we're not going to have that debate in here either.
No, not that debate. It's.
I'm not going to have this debate in here either.
No, there's no debate. The guy that just spoke, I wanted to help him out with one thing. They said that.
You're addressing what he said?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We're supposed to be talking about the media, right? You guys keep wanting to
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. I'm talking about that. So. The thing about the soccer's weird, bro, and I know what you're talking about, but Trump, he has all the fucking trophies. It's in his Oval Office and stuff, but it leads it to the drones. Here, I'll send you something on that. And they have also that, what is it called? Is David still in here? The AZAC or whatever pack? They have a different pack that's not that kind of pack. I'll send you that as well. But the thing is, Diligent, with remember when Elon put that out about Trump? Everybody went in defense mode, but he fucking put out some wild shit on him or whatever, and people started defending it. And also, when Elon did this last time to Nick, he hid his reply. I don't know if y'all knew that or whatever. He got community noted for that shit, but he fucking hid his reply. But I'm questioning. I can't wait to hear some of the the crazy MAGA face. What they have to say about that, because they were sure defending Trump against Elon, but now it's like, let's throw down on Fuentes or whatever. Because I mean, Elon wouldn't know if he's a Fed though. Probably is. They're all fucking Feds, bro. What are we doing? They're all Feds. All these people.
Well, everybody's lawyers. They're not just Feds. It turns out that in life, it's the lawyers that control banks. They control even doctors with lawsuits. So I'm the guy that I'm running against. Not many people here have probably ever run for office, but the whole scam starts with petitions and objections. You go before your state election board, and lawyers literally get out any viable candidate who has any real change in them, and the scam starts there. So I have filed challenges, objections, motions. Nothing gets heard. And it's a total double standard, and to me, it's election fraud and voter fraud. But I would love for Diligent to expose how corrupt elections are and how difficult it is to change congressional seats because of challenges, objections, and these judges and lawyers that control it all. It's a real racket. I'm not O'Keefe, but I took my phone in. I recorded as much as I could. I live streamed the courts. And to me, what I have is evidence of election fraud. I'm just a little nobody in Chicago running for Congress like everybody else, but I'm telling you that the system is so rigged and so cooked from the very inception with petitions and redistricting and numbers of signatures. It is so hard to create change. I don't know what our Constitution is. We live in a society of lawyers. It's sickening. But it is a world of words and letters, and the pen is mightier than the sword. But it's a racket, and life is one huge racket, unfortunately.
It's AZA patch. I'm sending it to you now.
Unless we remove big money from politics, I don't foresee much change coming.
This was confirmed. I'm going to throw it up in the Jumbotron because it's relevant. It's been confirmed. Well, Adam the Angler, a veteran, called, and this was sent to me earlier, but I couldn't confirm it, that he was who he was talking to on the phone, but he sent me the phone numbers. It's up in the Jumbotron. Adam the Angler, and good job, Adam. Adam the Angler called the sheriff's office in Tim Pool's county, and they could not confirm or had no record of Tim Pool making a police report about a shooting at his house this weekend. They said the last shooting was up in some adjacent town, and it was a murder. So, and it was weeks ago. So,
you want me to get him in here, Diligent? He's from my neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's up in the Jumbotron, you guys, but he actually calls them on the, and good job. That's citizen journalism. He actually called them on the video live, and had called the police and the sheriffs, and waited for them to call back, and sure enough, no record of shooting, I'm sure he's gonna say, well, we talked to the FBI. I'm sure it's
he's the one where they came to and knocked on the door or whatever for him making a comment.
Maybe the chickens called, and so that's why they're confused. Maybe it was the chicken coop. That's really where the call came from, and they're just confused as to who and where the call came from. Maybe that's what it is.
Is this Tim Pool you're talking about, Diligent?
Disavow.
So isn't it amazing though that Tim Pool?
Yes, Tim Pool, bro. Okay,
he's the guy that was caught taking money, right, from the Russians or something.
I disavow. Not according to, let's just say, hypothetically, that did happen, and then somehow miraculously he avoided any implication in that. Well, if he starts shilling for the government, is it possible that he could have gotten a deal to push narrative? Right? Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, you make it make sense. And then I think it's interesting that right as his numbers are tanking, and they were, right, that he, this so-called shooting happens that is, we've triggered tweet news on X. He's now requesting, we're going to bring him up. I've invoked the name of Timmy Pool. I want to hear what he says.
So his name, is it Small? Because is it Smollett or Pool we're talking about? There's a thing in the, who's that?
Okay, Timmy's, Juicy Smoulier, okay, is this French actor who, an African-American gay French actor, right, who lived in the suburbs of Chicago. And, it was a couple of years ago, and he was going to the store. He was walking to the store in his hometown at like 2 a.m. and in the middle of winter when it was like 14 degrees. And he got accosted. He was jumped. He was jumped by a couple of white men in MAGA hats who called him all kinds of names and put a noose on his neck and poured bleach onto him and screamed, "This is MAGA country," and then ran off into the night and disappeared. And so a lot of people didn't buy the narrative from him. They weren't, all of the media, the legacy media, and all of Hollywood. They were all up in arms and outraged and justice for Juicy. The hashtags were all over Twitter and X. And it turned out, if you interrupt me again, I'm gonna have to drop you down because you keep doing that in my rants. Okay? It turned out that, God damn it, I hate when you do that. It turned out that it was a fraud. Two like actual Africans, like Nigerians, were paid to do it. He even went to jail for it because it was for falsely reporting a crime, right? And so when I say Timmy Smollett, right, it is a play on that story, right? That it just happened to be, right at a convenient political time and career time for Timmy. he has this shooting. And you know what? I wasn't immediately skeptical of it until I read his first post. His first post was like, there was a shooting out at her house, yada, yada, yada. But then there was this little bit of virtue signaling, or not a little bit. There was virtue signaling in the post where it was like, because this happens when you speak out against evil, right? And that's where I'm like, oh, you're fucking gay, right? Okay. Like, not really gay, but faking gay. You know what I mean? I was like, this is faking gay. And so then I called out the fact that it was faking gay. And, you know, I mean, obviously it got some traction because he addressed it for about an hour today on his podcast. And it's still not any more believable. He landed on my chicken coop. You can tell from the reactions of my chickens that there was a gunfire. So he had no evidence or receipts to back up his claim, other than he's hoping somebody was recording the live stream in his chicken coop so they could come forth with the evidence that the chickens all moved at the same time, and that is how we would know there was a gunshot. And that was, you know, so after weeks of vilifying Candace Owens as a conspiracy theorist and for spreading misinformation and not bringing receipts, he comes up with this story of being shot at, and turns out he wasn't there, right? He's like, he didn't say that when he first virtue signaled. He didn't say he wasn't there. Like, all of these other fucking extraneous details emerged later over the next few days, which, why would it take that long? You know what I mean? And so we've been clowning him, and I would say rightfully so, and it just keeps getting better. So, Clinton, does that make sense? Does that make sense?
In fact, you piqued my interest, so now I'm gonna step up.
This is all on my timeline. It's all on the Jumbotron.
No, I want to go listen to the podcast now of him ranting about it.
And it was 2:00 in the morning, just like the Smollett case, and he wasn't home. But hey, Diligent, can you play that clip since it's relevant for this space?
Which clip?
This guy, the one that posted about calling the sheriffs.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Let me get it out. All right. Well, first, we'll listen to Timmy, and then we'll listen to the guy. How about that? I think that's fair. All right. Here, let me get it. All right. Here's Tim.
Incident, we were out, and I got a message just around 1 a.m. And it was vague and nondescript. Just there was an incident. We need to talk with your team, and then we started getting the details trickling in that a car had been lurking or something to that effect, and a shot was fired. We now know that it was 3 shots that were fired. We don't know exactly what or why. And we are desperately trying to rationalize, maybe it's just random. Just somebody was driving down the road in the middle of nowhere in the country and decided to slowly approach our property and then fire several rounds, just for no reason, for fun, perhaps. At this time, for security reasons, you know, I got these people screaming, release the footage, and the concern we have is obvious. To then show everyone where we put our cameras, that's not going to happen. And that's the honest truth. That's why I tweeted out, if anybody had been archiving the Chicken City live stream, this is inside of our chicken coop. It doesn't reveal, it's designed specifically not to expose the property, the location, or anything like this. And you would have seen the reaction from the chickens. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but... And so where's it riling up their audience, preparing for shows, people who don't like me, for whatever reason, saying that we're lying, making things up, none of this can be true. Charlie Kirk is dead. A couple months ago.
Charlie Kirk is dead.
We have a suspect. We don't know exactly what happened. There are many questions around how it all went down, what makes sense and what doesn't. We're an organization that's rallying young.
Yeah, so that's Tim. telling you that the chicken coop, he's looking for footage of his chicken coop right now. All this is up in the Jumbotron again. Let me do the video of the guy now, making the call to find out.
Hello? Yeah, this is Adam. Are you calling from? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Harpers Police.
Oh, hi. Oh, wait, you're with the Harpers Ferry Police, not the Sheriff's Office?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can answer my question. Did the dispatcher relay what I was asking about?
Yeah, it's asking about, I guess, that somebody's house was shot up or something.
So,
On December 6th.
yeah, so, Tim Pool, who's a large influencer, he put out a post on X on December 6th, the morning of, around 8 a.m., saying that there was an alleged shooting that took place at his property, and it was just really weird, and half the audience thinks he's just trying to create some kind of a hoax to regain some attention. So I just wanted to call and just verify that if this even happened or not, this alleged, has he actually contacted you guys or not? I'm just trying to basically see if, what he's saying has some kind of evidence or something backing it up, or that he, just verify that he contacted you guys.
The only issue I have is if you don't know the exact address, I can't tell you exactly if it has or hasn't happened, because the only thing I can do is look in the town of Harpers Ferry, which is very, very small.
Yeah.
And I looked back through our call logs, we've had no active shootings or anything in the town of Harpers Ferry, but Harpers Ferry is huge.
Okay.
So you're only going to get the incorporated part of Harpers Ferry talking to me. The sheriff's office covers all of the rest of Harpers Ferry.
Yeah.
So depending on where he lives, that I can't give you a yes or no without knowing exactly where he lives. But I can tell you, if he lived in the corporation of Harpers Ferry, we have not had any shootings.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly what his address is. I have a feeling it's not going to be easy to find. I know he was doxxed before, but I have a feeling it could have been scrubbed. I'll try to see if I can find it, the address. Can you tell me, have you even had any alleged shootings on the early morning of December 6th?
We have not in the town of Harpers Ferry, but I can't speak for the sheriff's department. You have to talk to them.
Okay. Hello? Yeah, hi. So my name is Adam. I go by Adam the Angler online. I run a very small content creator, accounts on X and YouTube and whatnot. Tim Pool had put out a post on X on December 6th around 8 a.m. saying that there was a shooting that took place at his compound, I guess, his residence / business. I have a possible address that I'm not 100%, but I just wanted to call and just verify that he has contacted you guys, like he said, because something about this just doesn't add up to me. So, yeah, I just wanted to see if he's being honest or not, basically.
The only shooting I'm aware of is the murder we had up on the mountain last month. I'm not aware of any of the shootings.
Okay, yeah, no one would have been hurt necessarily. He said in his post that it happened around 1 a.m. on the 6th of December, saying that someone approached his property and allegedly fired 3 shots. But then he said that, what's that?
What's his name?
Tim Pool. He's a fairly large content creator. He covers a lot of geopolitics and whatnot. And so I believe he lives within your jurisdiction, as far as I can tell. So I just.
There are no calls associated with him. Report was taken.
That they want to separate, but they can't.
I'm sorry. Say that again. You said a report was taken.
I can explain his name and local. So if he had reported a shooting. Now, we responded to in Jefferson County, he would have shown up in my system, and when I explained his name, there was no calls
Kitover on Instagram. I didn't actually want to go around with it. Congressman.
Okay. I appreciate that. We'll see if he produces something more on the Celeste shooting. Because he's literally put nothing out other than saying there was a shooting and that he was in contact with police. And I've called you guys. You haven't heard of anything. And I even just talked to an officer with the Harvest Ferry PD and the incorporated city part or town part, and they said they didn't have one either. So I'm starting to lean towards this might be a hoax, but I'll try to keep an eye on it and see if he posts anything new. But anyways, thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. All right, thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
That's crazy to hear. Like, wow. Surely there's an explanation, right? I couldn't see. I don't know.
Maybe he called like the chicken police.
The way he communicates. Well, it sounded like, if I had to guess, right? If I had to guess, I bet you his security did call him and say, "We think that somebody shot at the property," right? And he might have trail cams or some kind of surveillance outside the property. It may have not have been conclusive, and they ran with it anyways. So if I had to guess,
I've got one
and I think I'm being generous. Hold on. I know you're triggered. It's okay. If I had to guess, and I feel like I'm being generous there. It was just the whole, this is what happens when you speak on evil. Like that whole thing, dude, is where I was like, oh shit, this has got some really fake vibes to it. So, but I mean, it's just, listen, I feel like that the media is losing, the new media is losing credibility, and I saw Benny Johnson do it too. Right? It's this whole victimhood. It's virtue signaling. It's fucking virtue signaling. Benny Johnson's guy, the one that threatened him or whatever, that was months and months ago. He hasn't said shit about it, okay, until that Milo story happened the night before at Tim Pool's, right? Just what we want you to think about this.
Restart this live.
Milo says that Benny Johnson is gay on Tim Pool's podcast, and the next fucking night, Benny Johnson brings up the fact that somebody went to his house, doxed him, and threatened him. And, okay, the same fucking morning, Tim Pool says that his house